This episode is brought to you by the Shop 1 in 5 Pledge. We believe that when you purchase from a small online or offline business, your dollar goes further. Hey friends, Mina and I created the Shop 1 in 5 Pledge, and we're inviting you to take it with us. It's a commitment to make 1 in 5 of your purchases from a small business, online or offline. It's a way to make an impact together where and when it matters most. Because the truth is, your purchasing power matters now more than ever. Head to shop1in5.com to take the pledge. Make that commitment to shop 1 in 5 of your purchases towards a small business. We also invite you to shop the directory if you don't know where to find other small businesses. It's right there on the page. And we're asking for you to share the pledge. Imagine if each of us told 3 to 4 people about the Shop 1 in 5 pledge. It would be an incredible and life-changing for so many small businesses. Tell your friends, your family, and your social network. It costs nothing extra and makes a world of difference. Our purchases have the ability to change lives. Okay, let's jump in.
Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we help product-based businesses grow their sales and improve their strategies.
Hey everyone, I want to introduce you to my co-host and biz bestie, Mina Kunlo-Sitep, an Amazon guru that has built a multi-6-figure product-based business.
In introducing the other half of the Product Boss, Jacqueline Snyder. She has helped launch and grow over 500 fashion apparel and accessory brands, even one of her own.
And together, we share our inventory of secret weapons that will help you dig deep and do the work it takes.
Are you ready? Let's build together.
In today's episode, we are re-airing one of our favorite episodes. If you're new here, then welcome. We're so excited for you to listen to one of our most popular episodes ever for the first time. And if you're a longtime listener, we still encourage you to tune in and listen. You never know what new lessons and aha moments may stand out to you now that didn't before. All right, let's dive in. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Product Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Jacqueline Snyder, with my very well-organized co-host, Mina Kunlo-Sitep. Hey, Mina.
Hey, Jacqueline.
So today we want to talk to you about why you need to start planning for holiday sales right now. And that is the beginning of August 2020, when plans for the holidays are happening earlier this year because, well, 2020 has been a doozy.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that across the board for all retailers. You're going to start seeing that. It's really a prediction of ours that we really need to start early because consumers are starting to buy early, right? Consumers are starting to shift into that mindset of what's going to be happening for the rest of 2020 because people are so uncertain and they still want to have that holiday feel of what's coming up for their family. So they're making the decisions now versus later.
Right. I think, and what we saw, and some people in our community had said back in June that even Hobby Lobby, for example, had Christmas decorations in the store. Now we're all in different places in the world. We're all in different places in the country. Even cities are making decisions that are different than states. Different countries are making different decisions. So depending on where you are, this experience is going to be very different for everyone. I think the reason why the planning is happening so early also is that there is an unknown. There's an unknown in what the reaction is going to be to the pandemic, the global pandemic, what's going to happen with the economy. I'm not saying this in a scary way, but I'm saying this in a way of it's fluctuating. It's going back and forth. It's this dance that we're all in together. And so people are trying to plan and prep. And the thing I feel like with the holidays, there's a couple things that are things you don't need, but you buy. So let's talk about some things you don't need, but you buy every year around the holidays. So if you go to Michael's and you're looking for crafts, but maybe there's new garland or another decoration that you're like, yeah, I could get that, or more wrapping paper. There's things that you're going to grab when you're out that are sort of impulse buys that are in the stores. Now, that impulse buy is going to be removed if people aren't physically shopping. There's a lot more thoughtfulness that comes with e-commerce, with buying online, right? You get to see the product. You have more time to sit with it. You see the number in the checkout cart. You get to choose whether you're going to give your card or not. It's like, it's less of that impulse of like touch, feel, put it in the cart and walk up to the register and check out. So I think what we need to do is we need to prep for the idea that they're not necessarily going to have the impulse buys and they're going to make decisions, but they're also not sure of what's to come. So they're going to start preparing earlier.
Yeah. And I think that you hit the nail on the head when you said that people are going to be online. That is something that's for every one of us, right? It is different. Like how Jacqueline said, we all will experience something different. But one thing that's pretty much across the board for all of us is that online shopping, and we'll start here for being, why you need to start planning early is because online shopping is at its biggest that it's ever been. We already saw that trend, coming up even for when we're outside of the pandemic, right? Retail stores were closing a bit. They had to extend their hours. They were doing different pivots. And now online shopping is basically every day in our lives right now.
For you and me, maybe.
No, for everybody, you know.
I know. But groceries, things that people could have never imagined buying online, Home Depot deliveries, things that you would just, plants are being delivered to people's houses. So there's so many different things that we've maybe never bought before that we're buying. And the experience is changing. You're starting to see bigger businesses create different experiences for people. So that's really exciting. So one of the ways that we think you should start planning. So are we talking about online shopping first?
Yeah, let's talk about online shopping and that being pretty much the number one reason, because you guys saw when we were talking about our core survival kit course bundle, the whole idea of that and why that was our reaction to COVID-19 was because we were certain that all of you needed to get online. You needed to get virtual because better believe that a lot of in-person events will be canceled or look different for this coming holiday season. So no matter what, you need to go where the customer is. And if the customer is online, that's where you need to be.
Right. And typically majority are going to be online. So the idea here is if you're a retail store, if you sell to retail stores, if you sell online and maybe you sell to Etsy, if you're on Amazon, wherever you are, we want you guys to, for one, make sure that you have options, right? All of our eggs are not in one basket, and that you're looking for virtual options. So a lot of trade shows, a lot of holiday boutiques, a lot of markets have gone virtual. Start paying attention to that. What can you be a part of? What can you sign up for? Because all of that is exposure. All of that is visibility. If you don't have the ability to sell online right now, or you don't control your sales online, this is a really good time to think, I'm not telling you to go and build yourself a website right now, but know that virtual options for people to buy. We've talked about Facebook shops. We've talked about in Survival Kit Course Bundle, we even talked about how to just sell on Instagram stories or in your feed. So there's just this way that we want you to start wrapping your mind around online shopping and how you're going to show up, one, to sell your product, but also how you're going to show up virtually to let people know that they can buy from you online.
And the reason why you need to start planning online or planning your holiday now is because you need to start showing up online now, because your customers will get used to seeing you online. They'll understand how to buy from you, and you won't be doing it too late in the season. So that was numero uno for sure.
Okay, so what's number two?
Number two is that people are really going to be selective with what they buy this season. And it will come down to what value you give them as a customer, whether that be in experience or in dollars or in some sort of benefit, right? Value. So you need to give them some sort of value in order to stand out this holiday season. So start planning that now.
And so when you're thinking value, well, what value do I add? It's not always value of the actual product that you sell. And oftentimes it's not even the product. I mean, most of the time, if a customer is buying from you, they're a loyal customer, the value, they're buying more than the product. They're buying the experience and the value that they get around the entire brand. So if you think about a designer brand, right? Think about, I don't know, a Chanel bag, just Chanel in general. Great. So the value is there because it's prestigious. There's this feeling of luxury and what they exude in the brand. And when you walk into the store, how the store looks and feels, how the customer service is for you, their follow up with you, the way they box and package the product when they send it to you, all of that, right? That's the experience around it. There's also the perceived value of, if I have a Chanel bag, I am perceived as X. If you watch any of the Housewives, you all know what we're talking about here. Now, then there's the idea of, I have a sister-in-law who has a lot of Chanel bags. She is very wealthy and she has many, many Chanel bags. And I remember going to her house one day and they were on the floor. They were just like, she was like going through it. Some of them are dust covered. When you have excess of this, then they just turn out to be another bag. And I remember she pulled out like a Louis Vuitton bag and handed it to me. And I was like, do you want it? Yes, I want it. But it was like collapsed. And it was like somebody giving me used clothes out of their thing. And I was like, if I saw this bag in a store in the pretty lights in the window with that experience around it, I'd be like, that's probably a $3,000 bag. Here she's handing it to me and I'm like, it's nice.
Yeah.
Like it didn't have the same experience around it. So that's something that it could be, that's when people buy designer bags, like, that are off a truck from China or off a boat.
Yeah.
China,
right.
That are, so that's part of the idea of value. It's the experience around the whole thing.
Yeah. And I think that the gauge here for you guys, as Jacqueline was telling that story, is what makes it special, right? So people are really going to be asking themselves, why do I want to buy from these people? What value? What makes it special compared to everybody else? Well, that Louis Vuitton bag lost some of its shine and specialness when it was collapsed and put into a dusty old bag and was like, here, do you want it as my hand-me-down? Even calling it a hand-me-down
means nothing to me.
Right? It doesn't even deserve to be on my floor with my other bags. So I didn't feel as special. But people do want special things to happen this holiday season, which is why you need to plan now. So what does that mean? They want family experiences. They want traditions. They want experiences in the house. They want those scents, those smells. They want it to still feel like Christmas. So even if the value add that you give with your kitchen utensil is some special recipes for this year of things that they can order online for different foods and things they can make quickly in, a Zoom together meal, let's say, right? Even giving them that idea is something that makes it feel like, ooh, this could be special. We had Kevlin, who is Festive Gale, on the podcast. If she did crowns that were for the entire family, that would feel really special, right? The family photo that's, different than any other year. So really giving them the value when it comes to something special for this holiday season.
If you can think for them. And then the other side of the value, to be honest, is supporting a small business. Mm-hmm. So they also, in a time where the economy is such a subject that's being had, on the news and in politics and all of that, the other thing that's value driven is that they're not just sending their money to some big company in exchange for a product that's kind of ultimately feels like garbage. Rather, they're thinking and they're making like really wonderful choices to decide, I'm not only going to buy this special hand poured soy wax candle that smells delicious, so they say online, but I'm also buying from another mother. I'm also buying from another, man that left his job. I'm buying from a family run business, and I am doing my part in supporting that as well. So the value is that experience of like, what are you getting behind in your purchases? We've talked about that with the Black Lives Matter movement as well. The purchases you make are part of the movement or where you stand with things. When you make these conscious decisions to support your local restaurants by ordering takeout. So we're not necessarily maybe buying from, we're going local restaurants with local owners that are your neighbors, or you're buying from families and all of that. It also, it's a little bit of that give back, but instead of saying like, buy one, give one to children, somewhere else, right now it's really supporting your own economy, neighbors, citizens.
Yeah. And giving that referral and word of mouth We rarely will give referrals for businesses that are non-small business that are just like a generic experience. So for
Mhm.
example, Jacqueline and I both lit our Liberate and Lather candles this morning. Shout out to Angie Clay over there in Washington. She has these beautiful soy candles. And so if we even said, these are our candles, the reason why we shout all of you guys out is because we can give other people that experience of feeling like they supported a small business as well, but also the experience of lighting a candle, so it's both things of, people are going to be in the charity mood, not charity mood, the like when we start gathering toys, we start wanting to volunteer at food drives and different things. It's really, people are going to get into the mood of
Giving.
giving and providing something, I don't know, like something that feels good,
Right. Something greater than ourselves. And
Yes,
we can only
yes.
do so much. There's a lot of power that a lot of us feel like we don't have. And there's only so much we can do. So how do
Hmm.
we give back in some way? Like to what area? And I'm going to say supporting small businesses for sure. So
Yeah.
we will get more into value driven options for you probably in another podcast. But right
Hmm.
now, that was one of them. So number 3 of something that we want you to start planning on for your holiday sales right now are discounts.
Yes. Which I know you guys don't like to hear that, but the holiday season is when people expect discounts, and they will expect it more than ever for 2020.
So many of our students or our community, we've heard them say, well, if I give a discount, then I'm just going to train them to always expect the discount. No, that's not what we're saying here. We're saying that at the holiday time, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the whole point of Black Friday is to get you back in the black, right? So if people are in the red, which means they're losing money, Black Friday was to move the numbers up and to make revenue, right? To clear through inventory to sell stuff. So that's the idea around the holidays. And we know when people are in the buying mood, they're willing to buy and they will buy more. And discounts oftentimes are going to push them over the edge to spend more and or try something new that they've never tried before, which is why we also tell you to do the opt-in with a discount, right? Because that little discount allows for them to take that risk and chance of trying something new.
Yeah. And I think this is the time when you guys think about what your threshold of your margin is, right? So if it's a discount that you can't afford until they reach a certain minimum cart value, then that's what you guys have to do. So just make it a more valuable bundle. But it's a chance for you guys to, again, these are the reasons why you need to start planning now, is because you need to know what that threshold is. Where can you start offering the discount? It doesn't mean that it's off of every purchase. Is it a particular product? Is it to a particular, audience, meaning could it be only to your existing customers, for example? Is it to your local area only? Just different ways a discount can be applied that might look different because you're trying to get them to buy, but it's not like just flashing a discount sign in front of them.
Right. So we're recording this quite early in the year. This is somewhere in July. And I just received an email from a designer brand that said 75% off the entire site. Okay. I'll just say it's Kate Spade. And they never have. I remember like I would shop and buy things for weddings and stuff that I was going to for like 30% off. And I thought that was a good discount. The fact that I told Mina last night, it was like the fact that I could buy a $39 something. And they were also doing bundles. They were taking necklaces and earrings, and you could buy them for like $27. It's the craziest sale I've seen. It almost feels like going to an outlet with a
Mm-hmm.
sale on Black Friday. And that's because the big brands, the big stores are having a lot of trouble moving product. They have retail environments in malls with really high rents. They've got huge employees and staff, and they're needing to almost liquidate their product to move it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not telling you to do that with your business at all. And I think going back to the value driven aspect is if you can attach the value behind it, the specialness of not only what you're selling and the experience, but also the value of supporting Angie at Liberate and Lather, for example, it's going to push you ahead of buying some random candle at Nordstrom's. That's number one. Two, the discount is going to then encourage them still to continue to buy from you. And there will be flash sales on your website. There will be large discounts that you'll offer to move product. But right now we're just talking about the fact that you do need to start planning.
Yep.
So to let you all know, because this is airing live August 6th. Right now we're in open registration for a totally free 5-day challenge called Rock Your Holiday Promotions Challenge. It's totally free. It's 5 days and it is starting on
August 10th,
which is Monday. So if you're listening to this in real time now, so head to rockyourholidaypromotions.com. We'll put it in the link below. We ran this last year a couple of times. We're running it early in August because we're telling you to plan for the holidays early. We had thousands of students go through this totally free 5-day course with us. And we're going to help you build out your promotions. So everything Mina was talking about with bundles, promotions, thinking about what's my sale going to look like? How am I going to email them? What and how do I go about the holidays this year and do it earlier? We're going to teach you all this next week.
Yeah, which brings us to a big point of that we really try to model what we tell you guys to do. And we moved Rock Your Holiday Promotions.
Up a month.
That's right. Because bringing us to number 1, 2, 3, 4, reason why you need to start planning for holiday sales right now. And that's because there will be early buyers. So we moved Rock Your Holiday Promotions up so you guys could be ready for this early holiday season, because 100% people are already making decisions right now so they don't have to think about it later. There's lots of decisions people are making, already, when it comes to if they're going to homeschool their kids, if they're going to shift their schedule. So thinking about the holiday season will be just in the list of decisions that they're going to be making. And the earlier they know that the earlier they are buying gifts, the better, because they're going to need them anyways, right? So since we're online more than we've ever been, then why wouldn't we be buying early? And we're seeing that already. So
you know what you and I are going to buy early if it comes out?
No,
a Nintendo Switch.
Oh my gosh, I know.
So there are so many things that went when kids were home, right? Video games, of course, one of them. And both of our kids have told us they wanted one. And Mina and I had no idea that I looked up places in Iowa without telling her to see if she could go find me one. And she looked up New Jersey. And then we talked one day and she's like, I just did the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's so funny because I was like, oh my gosh, I looked up New Jersey too. I actually looked up Omaha, which one of our clients that we've worked with time and time again, she's over there. I was like, I know she'd send it to me if it's there. And so I could not find it anywhere. They're gone. People have stocked up and they're reselling it on different sites like eBay and Mercari. But my daughter's 10th birthday is coming up and I was ill prepared to find a really cool gift without having everything accessible to me. That's for sure.
It's true. And there are certain things that went. So video game consoles went because people were like, how do I keep my kid busy for hours at a time and ignore them?
Or play with them. That's the whole idea of the Switch.
Is it? Is it though? No, I'm kidding. And then the other idea. So there's going to be certain things that come out that are going to be hard. Like, for example, I'll give you another example for the summer. Mina and I were like, well, what do we do about pools?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought you were going to say when we were looking for, remember those, not flip-flops, what are those? Slides.
Oh yeah, we couldn't find sandals for our kids either when Amazon was kind of like down and shipping was.
Yeah.
But pools. So I ended up buying, this is where I grew up in LA, my friends. So when LA is like everybody has a pool in ground in their backyard, it's just something I was used to. And then I have a blow up hot tub now in my backyard, and Mina has a blow up pool, but she couldn't even get the really big like Inatex or whatever ones that they had because those were gone. And then people were eBaying them at higher prices. Same with us. We had to buy ours on eBay. So there's going to be these trends of people thinking in mass, oh my goodness, what do we do? And they're going to go and they're going to buy certain things to prep.
Right. Right.
So that's the idea here too of early buyers. What can you think of? What can you get ahead of? Some of you out there might have products that are going to really catch fire and be the thing that they need and that they want and they can't get.
Yeah. I mean, we said it in the first one of online shopping, but Christmas is starting early this year. There really is. So that is why we all need to start planning, because those early buyers are wanting to buy things while they're online because they're going to need them anyways, right? So they can just cross it off their list.
Right. So then that brings us to the final thing that we want you to start planning for holiday sales right now is free shipping. So the idea of free shipping, but also with the knowledge of delayed shipping.
Mm-hmm. So we go through this in Rock Your Holiday promotions, but free shipping is something that people indeed want to have, especially during the holidays. And they're willing to up their cart value to get it. So kind of the same idea of the discount that we had talked about before, and knowing what your threshold is. If you can offer free shipping, that would be ideal, right? So if it's free shipping, what is the way that you're going to promote that? So it could be free shipping November, for example, or free shipping December, right? And so they feel the value of that within that time versus you giving free shipping all the time, right?
And we talked to somebody today about 12 Days of Christmas, which we teach typically in Rock Your Holiday promotions. This year, our approach to it is going to be a bit different because of delayed shipping. It's going to be hard to sell right up until usually what do we end? It's like 18th, 19th.
The 16th, I think, is usually the cutoff line for a lot of people.
There's like that date of get it in by now. You're all going to have to think, how much earlier do you need to push those holiday sales to be guaranteed by Christmas? Because my mom sent me something from California to New Jersey in the height of the pandemic, and it was 3 weeks. I also didn't get my birthday card from her, even though she sent it, just disappeared. And then so for my daughter's birthday, she sent a FedEx envelope with the birthday cards inside to be able to track it. I don't know. For whatever reason, that was the way she decided to do it. So there's all of the stuff that's going to happen. And it's just part of the, USPS is doing the absolute best that they can. Thank you for working and for being there and out there and delivering our packages. But I want you all to think about this from the perspective of, how do I push the sales? How do I get them to buy earlier? So it gives them time to get it delivered to them, so it gives us that transit time. And then that free shipping is going to be the thing that kind of will help boost that decision as well.
Right. I think, people, they are less likely to want to pay for shipping when it's coming up for the holiday season, because we're seeing a lot of the economy shift right now, and being able to offer that even with the delays, and you actually informing your customer. We know there probably is delays going to come up, so make your purchases now and we're going to offer you free shipping, right? So they know that's a value that you're adding. These kind of go in a kind of go all together in a way, but really the point is that you need to start planning so you can offer that to your customer who might not be ready to buy yet, but they are, because you let them know, right? You're planting that seed in their heads.
Absolutely. So these are just ways we want you to start really just wrapping your mind around the holiday season in August. I know a lot of the makers in our community have started thinking about it. I know a lot of you that work with manufacturers and source, you started thinking about it. And this right now, this idea of holiday sales and planning for it is really the forward facing towards your customers and your buyers. So there's the back end that you're going to prep for. And this is that forward facing, and how you're going to also, like Mina said, give them the knowledge and they need to know, you need to inform them. This is how it's going to work. The same way that there's still like COVID policies. This is how we're operating during COVID. So many websites are like, expect delays.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then also we didn't even talk about weather delays that happen.
Oh, I mean,
who knows what's going to happen with the crazy weather.
Let's knock on wood with 2020. I don't even want to predict. But yeah, hopefully it's like a warmer winter and there's no snowstorms. But yeah, so these are all the things. So we know that you need support here. We wanted to support you here. So that's why we moved Rock Your Holiday Promotions Challenge up by a full month. We are planning in August. It starts next week on Monday. We'll put the link in our bio. We would love to see you in there. Again, it's totally free. You get a 10-minute training video delivered to you in your inbox, 10 minutes of work. We wanted everything you do can be under an hour a day for 5 days. And you'll get your promotions planned out for the entire holiday season, which is amazing, right? Imagine being done knowing what you're selling in August. And you get a private Facebook group that we show up in every day live for you. So if you want more support from us, we would love to see you in there. So head to rockyourholidaypromotions.com.
Yeah, thanks everybody. We will see you in there. One last thing before you go. We created this podcast as a reminder that you are not alone in this. Growing a product-based business is hard, and we want to help you through it. So thank you so much for listening, and we truly appreciate it.
And we want to give a special shout out to those of you that have left us a review. Thank you. We read every single one of them, including this one from J.L. Kessel. It says, "Love these ladies. I'm so thankful I found you. I'm only 7 episodes in and I could listen all day." Well, thank you for leaving this awesome, positive review. And I hope that from the hundreds of episodes that we have helped you in your business.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So we love reading these, and these really help us reach more people and help more small businesses, which is our mission. So thank you. Thank you for being here and listening all the way through the Product Boss podcast. If you love our show and it has helped you in any way in your business, would you mind doing 2 things for us? Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode, and leave us a review. Reviews help other product entrepreneurs know that this is the place to be to grow their businesses and realize that they're not alone. And we know that you all know that a 5-star and honest review helps you sell more products to more people. So you know that your reviews help us reach more listeners around the world. Remember, what we give is what we receive, and we are all about helping each other in the Product Boss community. We are all in this together. We would be so appreciative of you if you could take the time right now to subscribe, leave a review, and even share this episode on social or someone you know so we can impact more lives. And remember, subscribing means that you will get notified each time we release a new episode so you never miss a thing. You have helped us grow and climb into the top 10 of all marketing podcasts, and together we can keep climbing. Thank you, friends. And remember, there is room at the top for all of us. This episode is brought to you by the Shop 1 in 5 Pledge. We believe that when you purchase from a small online or offline business, your dollar goes further. Hey friends, Mina and I created the Shop 1 in 5 Pledge, and we're inviting you to take the pledge with us. It's a commitment to make 1 in 5 of your purchases from a small business, online or offline. It's a way to make an impact together where and when it matters most. Because the truth is, your purchasing power matters now more than ever. We're inviting you to take the pledge if you head to shop1in5.com. The link is in the show notes. And when you get there, please make sure to share the pledge with your friends, your family, and your customers. Let's invite everyone to take the Shop 1 in 5 pledge so that we can all use our purchasing power to change lives.